How's everyone doing today?
Good, thank you.
Lovely.
Lovely, excellent. How are you, Aki?
Good, just with a new setup on now with Windows. It's annoying. They took away my old computer, my old Mac, so now I'm back to fighting Windows. It's annoying.
Oh, it's
I mean,
funny.
it's a good thing whoever they are, they took your Apple product, whatever
Yeah.
that might be, and gave you something better.
Something which you could install Linux on.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Actually, that's what I was going for initially.
You
Took me
know
a little
what?
bit too long.
It's strange to see, not to see the. Okay, now I moved it. Okay, you guys will see as if I'm looking at you. That's better, I think.
You show us like every day a different angle from your house. It's amazing.
I know. Yeah.
I should do the same, I think, in future.
I'm mapping it already. I'm drawing. I'm gonna have a model of Aki's house, so I know where the goods are. Awesome. So how has the week been? I remember last week was big commitments from everyone trying to push for releases. So who wants to start? What's going on?
I can start. It's I had I think a good week. At least my Sunday was very productive, and then also like during the week until today, I got some things done. I can show you maybe the current state of where I am, because I still didn't give you the list. But let me share my screen real quick, then maybe you guys can give me some feedback. How do I do that? Share. Jesus, 25 clicks. There we go. Okay, you guys are seeing my screen right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I wanted to have, or what I want to have just for the live version, was actually like this section here where people can get a quick overview, basically like some sort of checklist what they need to do for the story. Currently there are like only 2 tabs, but these should be extended at some point. But maybe I'm not even quite sure if I need that. I mean, I need the create story tab, because that's basically where people can create their stories. Maybe they write like different books or short stories or whatever, and you can switch in between here. And then this my whole the whole structure of Plot Maniac is based on templates. I think I showed you that at some point. I'll just go in there real quick, where you have, for example, like characters, locations, and items and stuff. I'm not going into much detail here, but for example, like, don't even know if I have things. Oh yeah, here, for example, for humans, you can define some things like first name, last name, age, and so on. And obviously you can have like different races depending on your book, or different whatever you want to define. And you can use those templates later to define your actual, let's say, characters, locations, items, and then of course a bunch of other things that are not implemented yet. But then for characters, for example, this section is basically done from my point of view. There is not much to do. Like you see the characters here, you can create them, you can upload pictures, you can like write small details to them, and so on. So these 3 things are basically fine. And what I'm still working on currently is this whole story section here, because that's where the whole writing happens. So first of all, you have a notebook here, And this is intended to be the entire, let's say, the entire story can be written here, but should not. The author should not type everything here. I mean, they can do it if they want, but I find it a little bit inconvenient to just write it in a huge, let's say, notepad here. But this also has like some couple of features, for example, where you highlight this and then you can, I don't know, you have some styling options. I still need to remove like most of them because like in the first version you won't have that many. And then also I have the option to link certain words to, let's say, characters or locations or items, what I have defined here. And for example, Batman currently is linked to the character Batman, of course. And here I see, I don't know, I see a nice picture and everything that I have defined for him. And yeah, for Joker, I have done that as well. And this is still also a little to do because this doesn't look nice at all. It's just, you can link, you can create, you can unlink, you don't even see what. Currently, this is a character, but yeah, you cannot see that. And also like this entire styling is a little bit, yeah, not good. So I need to do that. Then I need to, for example, here I have a plot outline where I can also create a template for. Let's say I have, for example, like the hero's journey, which would be it's a way to write a story. You have like 3 acts, and then in each act some things happen. This is not necessarily, yeah, the text in there is not really what's usually defined as the hero's journey, but this is just some test data, so don't get irritated on that. But the user can do that, and then they can like quickly define, like in 1 or 2 sentences, like in each act, in each section, what is their story about. And so they can always come back to it and always look at it, so they're to know they're still on track. Here they see the whole story. And then the most important part, in my opinion, is the scene section here, where you can just define different scenes, basically from different character viewpoints, for example, or like different locations. And then here you write basically whatever you define as a scene. Could be a chapter, could be just like a short paragraph or something from your story. And this later on is going to be translated in this notepad section, but maybe I don't even do that for the first version yet. But this is still all to do. The scene section is very buggy currently. Many things don't work as intended. And so here there is still a lot of work to be spent on. I'll do that together with Steffen, because he's currently working on that section. And yeah, and then here basically there's at least like some initial, how can I say, like call to action, so people know, okay, I need to do this, and that, and then basically my story is finished. So that would be great. And that's basically where I wanted to integrate most of the guides, where they have, for example, like, yeah, create a story, then like, yeah, what different kind of stories are there, then maybe create a character, why is this important, what features does your character need to have, and so on, and like many more things there. And yeah, but probably also for the first version I will just leave that kind of blank, and I will provide a link where I just show all of my 17 pages of guides that I have so far. Yeah, that's my plan. But yeah, this week I worked basically on this notepad section here. Like I said, it's still a lot of work to do, and like especially like the styling you see is not very nice here, and like all of these things are not, they don't really fit into the rest of the styling. And yeah, and a couple of features are not working. So
what takes longer in your experience, the coding or the styling?
yeah, the styling.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's super annoying, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, most of the basics, let's say, I have a lot of functionality that makes my life easier, especially like when it comes to like let's say storing, retrieving data, and so on. Everything is how can I say, it's mapped away, so I can just reuse it where whatever I do. But then for each section, it needs to be, at least it needs to fit a little bit to the Plotmaniac overall design. So yeah, I still need to work on that, and Steffen is currently working on the scene section here. Yeah, still some things to do. Also, the saving functionality sometimes is also a little bit buggy. I need to debug that. And yeah, but that's what I want to have actually for the first product. This small little dashboard here where a user can do some things, then these two things, and then these three. The rest is not even currently on the list.
Can you, instead of the wizards and not the guides we kept talking about, can you use one of those out of the box, those guided tours kind of things? There are services, there's a ton of those. I don't remember a single name of them right now, but you know what I mean, right? Like which shows you kind of like in an overlay fashion. It's like, oh, here's what you can do there. Here's what you can do. Click next, next.
Yes, that was actually the plan. But that's also a lot of work, because most of the most of the benefit of those tours comes from the content that you provide there. If it's just like
but don't overdo it. Again, don't overthink it. Just the only thing you need to do at first, I think, is tell the customer what is he looking at. What are they looking at, right? Like, okay, I'm here now. Especially if the menu is kind of at first, hidden. Like, okay, here are scenes. You just walk them through what is the difference between story, plot box, right? And then what are scenes? Just like one sentence. Don't overload them, right? Because they're not going to read it anyway. You want to, like, just very, very briefly, in your own words, what is the benefit of each part? Like you just described it to us. That's it. Don't even worry about too much more. Roll it out, and then you can kind of gauge by talking to the people who are using it. Does this make sense? Do you need more? Do you understand that, right? And they will tell you automatically themselves too. It's like, well, what do you mean? I still don't get what stories are or scenes are.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Like I would, like, again, only do it right now before you roll it out if it's literally a thing of like 2 hours. Use something which works out of the box, and you just write 1 or 2 sentences, no more. You can make it better sometimes later,
Yeah, makes sense. I'll try that. I mean, I wanted to use a wizard anyways, like for many of those things, so I can just do it. I think the template that I'm using is already providing some sort of wizard functionality, so should work,
I think that is true. That is in there.
Yeah,
perfect. If that's there, then just even just start with the basics, right? Like just 3 or 4, just to give the lay of the land, just because this tool is new.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or alternatively, for your dashboard or wherever it is where I land first, give me a 60 seconds or 2-3 minute video of you introducing the tool.
Yeah, that would be this. How can I say, this area actually? And yeah, there's plenty of space anyways, so I can use that. Yeah, maybe that's better. It's easier at least for the video. Yeah, but then, I need to do the. I mean, embedding the video is not very difficult. This is super easily done. But I can only make the video, I think, once I'm basically done with the tool, right? because otherwise, yeah, I cannot use
Yeah.
it or cannot show all the features.
But that's a quick one, right? Like again, use Loom, screencast, done. Right.
Yeah.
10 minutes, right?
Mm. Yeah, that's the plan. So any other feedback from you guys? Would you like, I don't know, skip any of what I just said, or like how would you?
What does your timeline look like right now?
I mean, that's the thing. The timeline is it's quite flexible. I would say. I was hoping, I mean, already to get it out by 1st of May. Now I'm like more than 1 month over that timeline, so it's yeah, maybe end of June, but I don't really think that's happening either. So yeah, maybe end of July or something. That would be great.
So I honestly think as long as you have that attitude, you are never going to finish. Like
Yeah,
I honestly think if as long as you're not committing to it, it's never going to happen. Because you just keep pushing it, right? It doesn't matter. I mean, we pushed it already 7 times. Well, what's 8 times? You know what I mean? Like, I think, like, that's what I said last time. I think you guys need to get together and have a heart-to-heart. And that's just be brutally honest, and then just fucking stick to it. You know? Otherwise, you just keep dragging, you know? You keep dragging. It's not going to feel better for so much longer. So pick a date and make it happen. You know you can. We talked about it last week. Like, you got more done in the first couple of days than what's left now. And it's taken you months.
Yeah.
So just get it done, guys. Come on. What's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. For me, I'm working on it a little bit, not with the let's say same attitude that I had in the beginning, but to be honest, for me it's fine. I mean, if it's in 1.5 months, if it's out there, then it's out there. And because I don't want to spend like all my days after work inside, especially now that the weather is nice and everything. So, I mean, we had a fucking lockdown, and I don't want to just be locked up again.
Dude, you don't have to justify yourself to us. I'm just telling you what I think is happening.
Yeah, I know.
You're justifying it to yourself, right? I'm just telling you from my experience, the way you guys are working right now, it's barely a hobby, right?
Yeah.
And you just need to be honest with yourself.
That's actually what it was from the beginning, kind of.
Yeah. That's not true. That's not true. Be honest with yourself. We have these conversations 1,000 times, like that. The goal is to create something with residual income, so that the day-to-day grind, like the ultimate goal would be to not have to have a day job, right? I mean, we talked about that all the time. That would be great. So most of these projects, at least the ones we work together on, and I think in part at least this one for you in the beginning, has always had that hope to be a part of that plan.
In the beginning, the plan, 1 second, in the beginning, at least for me, the plan was to build a tool that's helping me with my book. That was the intention behind that. And now kind of it feels like it could be a product. So that's why I'm still working on it. Otherwise I would have probably just dropped it like a couple of months ago or something. But it's, in order to help me with my book, it's still far from good enough in my opinion. So it's like I don't know. I'm just building it because I feel like, okay, now I've come so far. I want to publish it or something. Maybe it can be useful for other people.
So that's an interesting thing too, right? Like then you need to pick one of them, I think. Well, or at least that could help. Either finish it to be the tool you want to use, and then actually use it, right? Because that's the question. Would you use it as it is right now? I mean, you just said probably not because it's not there yet. But
no, I would use it for many aspects, but it just doesn't have all the features.
Yeah, but then again, if you build it for yourself for functionality, a lot of the things you have done already would have not been so important, right? Like that it's bug free doesn't fucking matter if you build it for yourself because you know the workarounds.
Yeah.
Right? Make it great for yourself and then fix the bugs if you productize it. But of course, if it's a product, which I think it's the track you've been on for the most part now, then of course that's different, right?
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, it went so fast, so quickly. So I felt like, yeah, okay, this could be as well a product. In the beginning, I just thought, yeah, okay, I'm building a tool that might help me. And then, of course, I way overdid it probably with all the design and everything, just for being useful for myself. But I don't know. That's that's how it happened. So I really now of course I want to finish it, but I don't have like a super strict timeline on that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess ultimately why I'm being hardball on that is because I hope that you kind of learn no matter what you do with this project, right? But next time, if you want to build a product, at the very least for any product related ideas, hopefully it's not going to fall into the same pattern, right? I think that should be the minimum goal for you personally. Because again, like, of course, that cycle, again, I mean, I've been on at least 2 of these cycles with you. So, I'm sitting in a glass house and throwing the stones here, but I think that's the key, right? And like, I think it works great because that's what I did for co-starting, right? I just fucking did it. Just get it out there. Just start it. I mean, it's, nowhere, not big yet, but it's something. And I love it. I still go through ups and downs with it, right? But it's alive. Your monster is still kind of on the table. You're kind of hooking up the wires, maybe waiting for the thunder. I don't know. That kind of stage, right?
Yeah.
So even no matter what you want it to be, set yourself a timeline and a goal. Because anything without a specific goal, I mean, what is it really, right? Like, there's no commitment if you don't really have something you commit to. So take that for what it's worth.
Okay. Yes, I will. Thank you.
I think there's also something to be said though about, living your life. You want to go outside and not be tied to your computer. So I get that. I do.
I know. I mean, it's really like the last year or so. I don't know. I barely spend any time outside, and it was perfect. Really, the lockdown really helped also with this tool a little bit.
Right.
But now I feel like really things are just going down. You look outside and you're like, I could lie.
How many hours are you outside right now every day?
Well, every day, I don't know, maybe.
I mean, average, right?
Yeah, 2, 3, maybe. I mean, I work the whole day, and then on the weekend I'm basically almost all day. The lake usually, and something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even still, right? You can still set a goal, like set half an hour after breakfast every day.
I don't have breakfast.
Well, even better, right?
I wake up straight into the first meeting, basically.
Well, no, even on the weekend, like, or whatever time of the day before you do anything else.
Yeah.
Do a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. I really need to do a little more, at least on the project. And
You don't actually, right? So I don't think the key is to finish as fast as possible. But that's why last week I was pushing for get a list together and estimate how long does it take to finish everything. If you had that, right, which you still should do, in my opinion, if that would say it's 100 hours, then you together, or you by yourself at the very least, need to decide, okay, if I spend 15 minutes a day, which is probably not enough because you barely get started, right? But like a half hour, whatever it is, then you can have that goal, that timeline, that launch date. Because if you just keep arbitrarily saying in a month and a half, and you just keep going to the beach, you know it's not going to happen, right? That's my point. Because if you don't make a plan, it's not going to get executed, right?
It's true.
That's kind of my point here, the bigger picture.
Yeah, makes sense. But I mean, I felt it last week that I committed a little bit to it, like not too much. It was really not way over the top, but it's I already feel like, okay, there is at least more progress than in the last 3 or 4 weeks, because of course I did a little bit more, and it didn't kill me. I mean, come on, let's be honest. So
right. Or you know what might be another way to do it. So I have contract work right now, right? It's a minimum of 20 hours a week. It doesn't matter when I do it, but it's 20 hours a week. So you could also set yourself a goal like that, right? Just say, okay, you know what? I'm going to do 10 hours a week. And if you're slacking the first 4 days in the week, you know, okay, I better get started, right? Or I have one really long Sunday.
Yeah, it's true.
And then you just can't you can't allow yourself to not commit to your own, not execute on your own commitment, right?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm in that maybe situation where I'm giving myself 2 more weeks and that's it. To me, this is really the just completed or, you know, failed miserably. But I've dragged this for too long. And yeah, I guess there are technical reasons and lack of understanding from my side on what I'm building, but I'm at the stage where I have all the functionality. I just need to package it in the right way and just push it out. I don't care anymore whether it's pretty or not, to be honest. I will just put it out there. There are just 2 pages to it. I think I've been dragging this for too long. But maybe now transitioning, I can show you what I have and what I did. Hold on. Okay. All right. Do you guys see my screen now?
Yeah.
All right, good. So this is my ad recipe, right? Now everything is working, like a title, description. These are preset. You can remove what you don't like. And if you missed or you deleted one or whatever, for example, I don't know, option 3, you can create new of these buttons, right? So this is fully configurable. I'm happy with it. Good enough. This is really enough metadata for me to manage these recipes. Now, the part where I was struggling is this, and yes, as you can see, all this styling is a mess. And every time I try, I just make it worse. So at least it's functional now, and I think I want to separate the functionality from the styling, and I'll do the styling pass at the end and just patch it to a presentable way. Here, right, so salt, and we had a good discussion about units, and I see where I was getting it wrong, and now I'm calling it units, whatever it is, spoons or cups, whatever that is, you just add ingredients, right? And here it's reflected. So the idea that I have is I want to visually represent this, right? So black pepper, and you keep adding ingredients, garlic powder. Here, of course, you can add 2 units, right? But I thought maybe you want to get rid of some stuff, and now everything is connected. So if I get rid of salt, it's removed from this, and if I increase this, it grows proportionally. I think this is good enough for me. Right, I haven't hooked it up because I was really fighting with this thing. But now that I have this basic functionality, what it's next is to submit, and I have that code. will go to the database, and you will be prompted back to the table that just shows the last 20 recipes on the database, and that's it. That will be my MVP, and I'm giving myself 2 weeks to complete this. It's getting boring. I've been spending way too much time on this, and I'm just tired of it. I think the next one, the table, will be less painful because it's not about putting data in, but rather just displaying it. And I think I can go with a basic version, and that's it. Release it, and now really start trying to get feedback from real users. That will be my next top priority. I don't care. It's functional. It's gonna work. And I'll pre-fill the database with a few of my, let's say, dry rubs, and that's it. Just roll it out and see what the feedback is.
Where are you planning on getting the feedback, the customers, the users?
So I'll roll it out on my Instagram account, right, with all these barbecue enthusiasts. I'll maybe advertise it there, see, and based on experience, only 1 or 2 will actually click on the page. I thought of it, maybe an opportunity there is Reddit. On Reddit, there is no dry rub group or subreddit. I think that could be an opportunity. I cannot create like a subreddit myself because I don't even have an account. But I think that could work, right? So maybe some niche communities.
I think you can do that. I mean,
so apparently you need to join in Reddit, of course, to have an account. But even you have to kind of get some karma points before you are allowed to create stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like to maybe categorize people that are productive and in good standing with the community. But yeah, so that's it. I'm giving myself 2 weeks, and it should be done. So in 2 weeks, and that's it. 2 more sessions, and I should be demoing the full thing and released. Otherwise, it's going to be really, I will accept it, just a failure, and will be bad. So I'm forcing myself not to let that happen.
Cool.
Did you guys look at it together? I remember last week, Timo said he would offer to help.
Yeah, no, we didn't sync, and sorry, Timo, but yeah, so I take the blame on that. I really didn't post anything.
It's fine, no worries. I mean, I was checking. I was did I miss something? I don't know. But yeah, no, apparently. I mean, if you still need help, I mean, especially if you want with the styling, we can go over that real quick. But you need to have an idea, because I cannot.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I'll do the groundwork also, maybe with the table version 1, and then I'll ping you to make good use of your time. Right.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thanks.
Where are you releasing it? I know you've said this before, but I forget.
So I have a website, right? I got the domain, and I'll just add a new kind of whatever app.dryrubme, and then point people to that link and have them use it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And they're not, like, for your MVP, you're not doing like accounts or anything yet?
If you want to add recipes, you need an account.
Oh, okay.
But otherwise, you can browse through them.
Okay, cool.
Do you have that functionality as well with the account and everything?
That's working, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so that's it. 2 weeks, guys.
Awesome.
Nice.
Nice. All right, I'll go.
So, Emmy, yeah.
All right. Okay, so my dad is here, and we're helping him clean out his rat house. So it's been kind of crazy, but I still do think I got a lot done. Well, a lot of interesting.
What is a rat house? A house for your rat?
This house is just full of rats.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. And they're like hoarders. Like my whole life, they've just bought stuff, and they have like storage units, and
I see.
buildings full of just stuff that they think is just the best. And so we've
Okay.
been helping trying to empty out his garage, and it's been a nightmare. It hasn't been that bad, but an extra layer of stuff needing to get done. But anyway, you guys saw I entered the pitch for progress. That was fun. And
How's
we
that
literally
going actually?
it's going good. I'm in second place. Well, I'm not really
Nice.
sure, but it looks like it.
That's great.
I don't know. It's a little weird with the voting thing, so how they're counting the votes and ranking everyone up. I'm kind of confused by it, but it's all right. Yeah, we saw that posted at 9 p.m. the night that the applications were due by at midnight. So I got up out of bed and went and recorded my little video and submitted it. Oh, so that was funny. Oh, you're muted, but I hear you saying it.
Oh, yeah. I was asking if she wants to show it, but maybe you guys already had the chance to look at it because the link is circling around. So
Yeah, probably. And I mean, you guys have seen my pitch anyway, so.
Yeah, you got 500 and 500 plus votes, right? That was a lot of votes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's doing good. It's also like there's a lot of lower commitment projects, let's call them. I think if you watch the other videos, there's certainly some of them which are,
there's
not quite the same quality. I think
there's like
I don't know.
two
Yeah.
levels. There's like these insane, crazy. We're found a way to fabricate like fake spider silk, and we're creating it in a lab to replace tissues for surgical operations. Like there's that level kind of stuff, and then there's like, I have an idea to build, this community. So it's a whole range of stuff. And there's a lot. There's like 160 applicants, so we'll see. Anyway, moving on from that. Today, Peter should have pitched me to the impact investing committee. So tomorrow or Friday, I should meet with him and see how that was received.
What's the next step for that? Like, is that do they already make a decision on the spot, or how?
I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I think he kind of gets a little bit of feedback, and then we'll try to refine and go forward from there and see if we're going to get everything done by the due diligence time. But I don't think they made a decision today, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not really clear on the whole process.
But so does the due diligence start after or before you get in? Like, do you still have to go through that before knowing if you actually get into the program?
Yeah, because they want to see my assumptions and my financial models and things. Yeah, things like that.
That makes sense, I guess.
Before they decide, but it doesn't have to be like all completely done up.
So this is kind of like a pre-selection committee or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, but I think it's just like him pitching the potential companies, and them kind of discussing which ones they have their eyes on.
Okay.
So we'll see. I also worked a bit on my website, and I think it's okay now. It's, as Arky would say, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. So it is what it is. Yeah, I recorded 2 videos, one for the website, one for the pitch for progress. I've also been on Clubhouse a little bit, which is really cool. Do you guys use Clubhouse at all?
No, I don't use it.
I like it's pretty cool. Like the networking. Like today, I talked and I kind of did a mini pitch in a sustainable projects room. And like I immediately got like 20 new followers on Clubhouse, and then I had like I think 5 new followers on Instagram from my socials, and like people messaging me and all that. So it's cool. You
That's
really
amazing.
can,
Yes.
yeah, can start with to network with people like really easily. Just people just like hang out in the rooms. It's crazy. I don't know. It's like a whole thing. Yeah. And then I reached out to some other senior living people. I haven't heard back from any of them, so I have to figure out how to step up my game there a little bit. It seems like it really makes the difference to know somebody that they know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Old people are difficult at times, but also nice.
Well, they probably like the people who work there probably have all kinds of people who are trying to get the seniors to do stuff, you know, that they have them
Yeah,
as
that's true.
customers. So they probably vet people pretty well to let them come in. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter who it is, right? You're trying to get stuff. No, people trying to sell you stuff all day, every day.
Right.
That's what it is. So, you know, that's what I said last week, right? Like, how can you stand out? How are you not just gonna sound like, and all of you, right? Like all of us, how are you not just gonna sound like the next guy, right? Like, what's different? Why should I give you 5 minutes of my time? Like everyone wants 5 minutes of my time, right?
That could be a good topic for a virtual coffee.
Yeah, that's true. I like that actually.
That's all. I'm done, I think.
So then after this kind of exposure, you said, so if I understood correctly, you're getting now a lot of attention, you know, by people who are interested in the project and just want to know more?
Yeah, I mean, from Clubhouse, you mean?
But okay, maybe I should have asked that. What's Clubhouse? I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, it's a a drop-in audio social network.
Okay.
It's like the new thing came out in COVID, and it's like when I explain it like it's like a live podcast. Like you drop in and you listen to the conversation on a certain topic, and then you can raise your hand and go up and discuss with them and that kind of thing.
Okay.
But they have special rooms for like they have rooms for everything, but there's like a special room for. I do have invitations too. If you guys want an invitation, you have to have an invitation.
Yeah, in the beginning it was super exclusive, right?
Yeah.
And
I think you still have to have an invitation, but
yeah, but there's so many on it now. It's
right.
Not too hard anymore to find one.
Oh my gosh, I've been selected for the due diligence.
Oh,
I just got an email from Peter. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Nice.
Congrats.
What?
That's awesome. Cool. So just even more work now.
Yep.
That is great. I mean,
2 months.
Really, that would be fantastic if you get into that. That'll give you such a kickstart on, you know, I mean, it's an accelerator basically, right?
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Congratulations.
When is do you know the timeline? Did he tell you that already for the due diligence process?
It says here it takes about 2 months
to go through. But yeah. Wait, wait, so those are two different things then, aren't they? Because didn't he try to get you into the June cohort?
So he says here the June due diligence cohort. Due diligence is a process through which your company becomes ready for impact investment. It takes about 2 months. more or less depending on your organization's specific situation to get it done. As a result, your organization will be qualified to receive investment from any individual or institutional donor or investor.
So this is the cohort. So I think you are accepted into the cohort.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, I'm accepted into the June due diligence cohort.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I thought they were.
Congrats.
I thought they were making a decision to say today, but I guess they are.
Yeah, it's a lot of things kind of interwoven, right?
It
With that
is.
program. It's not just you
Yeah.
apply for Techstars and you're in or you're not. It's
Right.
like all kind of interlinked. But if you remember from last cohort's case study, right? The Soso app, Soso, yeah,
Wellness.
something. Yeah, Soso Wellness, yeah. How she talked about going through it. It was in the cohort where they got her ready, worked through it, with her on all of those documents. So
yeah. So I guess it was just a little more concrete than I thought. Like today, they were deciding who gets into the June cohort.
That's fantastic. So when does it start? Is there a date on or a next thing? Anything?
Please let me know.
Tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Yeah. I'd like to meet all of you as a group next week, Monday. Please let me know which time slot you prefer. Yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Do you know who the others are? Is that on there?
The Wine Room, Fort Myers. Sweets by Linus. flroof.org. And Charity for Change. I don't know, that might be. Oh no. Shell Special Touch Catering also.
They all sound like food.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
Weird. Yeah.
Why is dryrub.me not on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Arky, you gotta apply for the next one.
Yeah.
For every dry rub added, we send one dry rub to Africa for the starving children to have tasty steaks.
Yeah.
Like the Tom's model.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
See? You've seen it here first at co-starting. Now she's gonna
that
forget
actually
us.
came in like when I was talking about it. I should have just waited.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Can you imagine? So it's 2 months, right? So let's compare in 2 months from now if Emmy got an investment and Timo launched his product.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's good. Why not?
I mean, you wouldn't. Well, I don't know. You'll let us know next week. I think once you got started, what the process is and all of that. But it's not like you're going through it and then get an investment at the end of the 2 months either, right?
Right.
It's not how it works.
That would be really fantastic.
He's told me too. Like companies that join, they stop at any and all points of the process too. You know, when they realize they're not ready for it or whatever. So it's like a very dynamic process, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course you can. I think that's what the last participant said too, right? Like it's up to you if you push through it.
Right.
Because of course you can take more time, but like if you really want to work your ass off but even then, even if you go through it all the way to the end, just like with any other accelerator, there's never a guarantee for investment, right? That's just not how things work.
Right. Yeah.
Unless it's an accelerator like Techstars, which puts in money in the front end. But then the due diligence process, like till today's vote, is much higher, right?
Yeah, but it is super cool because I get Collaboratory covers the whole due diligence. So basically they help me iron out all the specifics of my business and everything and give me like super detailed help for free. So that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting too, by the way, for you guys, Arky and Timo, as you go forward, either with this project or the next one, I really think that makes a big difference I prefer having that kind of external pressure. I think it seems to be really working for Emmy right now as well. Correct me if you feel different. But as you're working on the concept and the initial stages of the idea, go look what's out there from these kinds of programs and pitch competitions, and those are kind of other ways to make it real, and work on the other side of the business, right? Like, Arki, you remember when we worked together on Grubbery? I mean, that's what we did exclusively for the beginning. Well, we did work a lot on it in the back end too, but we went to all of these events, tons of networking, tons of pitching. We pitched in front of Senator Cory Booker, if you remember, right? That's the stuff which really kind of, I don't know, for me, that just gets the excitement going through the roof. And even more so than talking in these online events, which of course is great, like keeping the accountability between the four of us, but just bringing it out to the world and getting unfiltered feedback from these judges who they have no skin in the game either direction, right? Like they didn't know you before and they're going to forget you 5 minutes after. So it's different than talking to the people we know, right? Which we tend to often do. So, anytime you find something, perfect example, right? We found this, we applied, well, she applied, and right now there's a voting process. So who knows? You never know. You're just gonna fire,
Right.
That's a numbers game, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's got to be stuff in the food space, right? Food space is crazy. And creative writers, there's got to be stuff like that all over the place too. Or like hackathons, So that could be another kind of good way to motivate yourself.
I could see Clubhouse being helpful for both of you too. I mean, just jumping in, like, there's got to be so many rooms for writers.
If someone would send me an invite link.
What's your email?
I'll send that to you later.
Timo at beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, I know.
I have it somewhere.
It's Timo at plotmaniac.com.
No,
that doesn't have email domain yet.
Yes, it does.
Oh. Are you hosting your own email server? I don't remember.
No. Of course not. I was talking about free time, and if I have my own email server, I don't have any free time anymore.
Yeah, it really is annoying.
I need your phone number, actually, not your email.
Yeah, I'll send all of that to you later while we are live on YouTube.
Say it right now. Your phone number.
Okay.
And social. Okay. Bank account as well, please.
Yeah, I will do that. No worries.
Yeah.
Do you also want my private keys to all my crypto wallets?
Sure. Yeah, I'll take it.
Cool. I'll copy that real quick in the chat here.
Perfect.
No.
Just give us,
I'll read it
give us
aloud
root
as soon as
access
it
to your
comes through.
computer. We'll figure the rest out from there.
Dude, if you cannot get root access to my computer, you're not worth my time, man.
Challenge accepted. I probably couldn't. I don't know how this stuff works. Cool. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about for a couple minutes? What's the Arki? Maybe for you a question. So, trying to get this out in 2 weeks, which is of course a milestone. Have you thought about then what's next after that? Is it kind of you just kind of want to? Are you over it? You said you're kind of a little bit bored with it. Are you over it? Are you going to continue with it or?
No, so I want users, right? I want to people to try it out, and if it's valuable, I'll continue to improve it as people give the feedback. I also maybe I don't want to end up in Timo's situation, right? Where first I want just with 100 features that are cool, but then it will extend this indefinitely. And I have also I recognize my disadvantage that I'm not really familiar with all the web development. I mean, I'm picking it up, but if it took Timo 6 months, it's going to take me 3 years, right? I'm trying to stay realistic. So I think this app is small enough. It's something well, I guess, defined. So I don't want to blow it out of proportion. I just want to release it, and that's it. And then from there, take it from there. See what the feedback is, what people want, or if no one ever signs up, that's also a good indication to move on. So just to launch, that's it.
You should also consider, I don't know if actually, I know I recommended it to Emmy a couple of times now, but the Springboard program, that designer intern program, if you're struggling with the design, that'd be a perfect opportunity. It's, I think it's like between 6 and 8 weeks or something like that.
Okay.
And, you meet with them once or twice a week, and that's their job, right? That's what they're going to school for, to
cool.
make stuff pretty. For both from a UX and UI perspective. Of course, you need to lead it, but that might be an interesting thing you could pursue as well, in parallel.
Yeah.
They won't develop it for you. You still have to then bring what you have now from a functionality perspective to whatever they develop from a UX UI perspective. But that would maybe be a good conduit for also, if Timo wants to kind of give you direction and how to do that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that would be a next step. Yeah, but if I want the functional piece there, and that's it, launch it, and then maybe think of improvements.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll forward you the email from them I got. There is a link in there where you can apply to that program.
Cool. All right, that's great.
Timo, you're not interested, are you? Or do you want me to send you as well?
You can send it to me. I can have a look at that, but I will probably not apply. Maybe it's immensely interesting, and then.
Well, I mean, there's nothing interesting about it. There's nothing in it for you, other than the deliverable, right? Like it's free labor, right? Like you get 2 interns who work on your project for you. If you think you have design requirements, anything design, user experience,
a lot of design requirements, but what do they get out of it?
It's their case study. It's their industry design project. It's for their portfolio.
Then send me the link for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I did. It's like a praxis semester, it's like.
Yeah, okay, I see.
It's actual doing work out in the world, which you can then put on your portfolio when you apply at the end of your studies or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think it was great. I mean, they did a lot of work. Really, they did. Like the two what I had, at least. You need to give a lot of guidance. You need to really know what you want. And they will work with you, their team, like the Springboard team themselves, they will work with you in that a little bit. They will ask you, like, so what's the goal? Of course, you can't just say, well, make it pretty.
Sure.
Right? What's that mean?
Yeah, but okay, they give you design proposals on how it should look like, or what can you expect?
But again, that's the question. What do you want? So for me, I had a ton of different things which I thought we would need to do, but you can't get everything done either, right? So I really laid out everything about co-starting, which I think I could use design help with. That's starting from customer discovery, customer interviews, user journey maps, right? Building a persona, figuring out where those people hang out. This is all design as well, right? Like that's the user experience part. And then they did that part actually for me, or with me, and then they used that as the input for the redesign of the website, right? So my final deliverable was a redesigned Figma high fidelity design of the website.
Okay.
But again, like it could be that you just say, okay, no, I don't need any customer interviews or anything like that. I want you to design the rest of the website, right? Like, here is the starting point of my website. Here's already how I started the design. I want you to design these other 10 features which are going to come up, right? You could do that. But then you need to teach them what those features are, of course, and all of that. But it really could be anything. It could be logos. It could be anything you can think of about design, I think, will be a potential. They have different interns probably as well, you know?
All right.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Like, it was, I think all in all, it was like 100 hours they put into mine.
Crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So yeah,
I mean-
send the link and I'll really take this seriously. Yeah.
I mean,
It's low effort for you, right?
if you say, especially for logos, I mean, let's say every 3 or 4 months, I need a new logo for whatever. So I could theoretically like always get a new intern or what for that for free.
Probably. Well, that's probably not going to be enough, right? It needs to be something which also challenges them, because it needs to be something which will look good on their portfolio.
Yeah.
So if you just say I need a logo, they're probably going to tell you to bugger off. But
Okay, I need a logo and a 3D animated version of it. Maybe.
that's still a logo. Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right.
All right,
Cool.
guys. Good. Yeah.
Amazing.
So a good session to to put the pressure on again. So
Keep doing it. Keep
yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
Sweet.
All
Excellent.
right, guys.
Thank you, guys. All right.
See you
Talk
next
to
week.
you next week. Yeah. Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.